Hello, this is my first video in a series of doing video tutorials of every single model in Jun Maekawa's book, Genuine Origami. That's my favorite book and a good book to get into the hobby for. I've recommended this book to many people, but I know diagrams can be a little tricky for beginners, so this is something that can just be linked to in order to help clear up any confusion. Going through this book in series will make you a much better folder. There will be a link to the book in the description. This video is meant to be consumed in conjunction with the book, as there's a lot of stuff in the book that I will not be going over in the videos. With that being said, just to explain my paper here, it's something called Kami. Very cheap. I definitely recommend buying it. This model has a color change, which is why I'm using Kami, so you can enjoy that color change. The tail of this mouse is different than the body of the mouse. With that being said here, definitely if you can purchase this book, please do. I don't know if Jun still gets royalties, but it would be great if he did. So please purchase this book. I do not condone piracy. This is just to help people who want to improve their skill. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started here on the first step. Feel free to mute me if you don't want to listen to me, but if you're having trouble with this step, unmute. I'll be explaining everything. The first step is to do a mountain fold on the tail side up. By the way, the color you want the tail, you want to be facing up. The first step is to do a mountain fold along the corner. When I'm doing a mountain fold, sometimes I like to just match these corners up exactly. Then I like to crease the center and make sure that I'm getting a nice sharp tip here. Really make sure we're halving that corner as much as we can. Making those starts of the fold will keep you on track to not mess up or get an angle different from 45 here. Though I have messed up. The unfortunate thing about pre-cut origami paper is due to differences in humidity all around the world, it may not be an exact square. Of course, I could have cut this one back down to size. I didn't want to do that for this video. If you ever do mess up like that, just once again, keep that corner sharp. Make sure these two are exactly on top of each other, as I have here. It's another thing that two-tone paper really helps out with. If there's a mistake where the corners aren't lined up, you'll see that other color peeking through like this. So make it so that it's all white or all your intended body color showing. Make sure that this corner is also exactly halved. And then follow this crease down, and that will force the paper to bisect that other corner as well as it can if it is an actual square. Looks like we do still have some overlap. Like I said, it's very cheap paper, and this is a simple model, so it won't matter in the end. All that matters is that we're happy with our skill and happy enjoying our time folding. All right, so that's step one, just bisect that corner. Step two is to use that pre-crease. The term pre-creasing is just a crease that you make before you do other things in furthering the fold and the model. Basically, it's like drawing a guiding line in order to do the rest of your folds on. So from this pre-crease, we want to bring these corners to the center along this line where this edge meets this line. So I'm going to try to speed through the fold to make the video a little bit easier, a little less boring. These steps are not the confusing ones, so I don't want to spend too much time on them. One tip for making sure we're staying on the line the entire time is I like to bring the corner to the line and then just kind of pull it. And in pulling it, that crease will eventually line up with the corner. I like to leave just a little bit of space on that corner. It leads to a less sharp tip in the end, but that way you don't get kind of an overlap that you sometimes get if you overfold. I feel like it's better to underfold rather than overfold, because if you overfold, you'll find things where this paper will go over the line of the fold, and then it'll fold on over itself. And you go further into the model, makes things thicker than they need to be, and it makes the model harder to close as intended. But yep, then we just do the same thing on the other side. To keep symmetry, I really like to have these points meet as close as I can. Of course, like I said, I'm not really focused on how perfect this fold will be, just on showing the steps. So, with that being said here, let's go ahead and continue. Got my cat in frame. Apologies for the floor here. I definitely need to do some cleaning. My entire desk collapsed due to some shoddy screws that broke. That's what you get for buying a cheap desk. So I haven't picked everything off the ground yet. Sorry about that. Next step is just to bring the tip that was created in that kite fold. That's the name of that fold, by the way, is a kite fold. Over to this other tip. Very easy. Anytime we're trying to create a line, I always like to bisect that line, create a crease in the middle, and then smooth out. Also in folding, it's good to use your nail to create strong creases. Simple model, lots of mistakes can be made and you'll still be fine, but it's a good technique to pick up. Next, we want to bring these corners to this point here. And that'll create a 90-degree angle down here. I find it easier to fold towards myself, so that's why you'll see me rotating this paper a lot. Ooh. You'll see I use that pulling technique a lot to create a nice point. And if any of this is confusing, please comment. All right, we unfold this for step 5. For step 6, we're going to bring this point down following this middle line. And our marker for that fold is that it will line up with these two corners. So it'll create another 90-degree angle. So you can do is just fold it like you're trying to bring this edge to this edge, because luckily that'll create the same effect, though it may make this edge a little off. Once again, I prefer things to be folded shy of where they're supposed to be rather than folded over where they're supposed to be, so this is something that I don't mind too much. Next, we're going to mount and fold on this line here backwards. So go ahead and so sorry about that. I misinterpreted this other thing. We want to put this flap under these other flaps before we make that fold. So let's go ahead and open it up here. Try not to make any unnecessary creases. Just stick that flap under. Cool. Then we do the mount and fold along this line, making sure that these two corners end up on the edge, because they're important for another flap later, I believe. Sorry. I should be folding by looking through the camera. I don't film videos very often at all. I hope a lot of this is showing up, otherwise this will be silly. I may have to do a retake after this. Anyways, we're looking to unfold that now. That was just a pre-crease. Then we're going to fold by bringing this corner and this edge along this line. So once again, kind of like that kite fold, make sure the corner hits the edge and then pull until you see the rest of this edge lining up with this line. And it's okay to draw on your paper to bring that line out more if you're having trouble seeing it. I know I'm folding on white, so it can be a little hard to see that there. Once again, this video is intended for you to follow along, and I've never proclaimed to be a professional. Anyways, I'm going to do that on the other side for the next step as well. And now, this is why I really, really, really love this book. I mean, this first model has a little bit of everything that the basic folder needs. We're going to basically take these folds that we just made and fold them both at the same time. And because of that other fold we made, it's going to naturally kind of want to collapse into this shape. And in the book, it'll explain that this is kind of like a water bomb base. This is a fold you'll see a lot in many other models. It's a kind of a comfortable, familiar friend, an easy step to do once you really have it. Yeah, sorry, not too much more to say on that. I just really appreciate this step. So, using these pre-creases, and this is why it's important to crease sharply, pull these two down so that these edges align with this line here. And then if your paper doesn't automatically go into this shape like mine is, just make sure you put your paper down, they'll meet at the edge, then you just want to pull these flaps down and you'll get something at least approximating that shape. It's another thing I really, really want to express to beginners is it's okay if your model is a little wonky. That's the beauty of origami. It's endlessly repeatable. And as you fold more, you'll kind of see where you're making mistakes and see how to make things better. Of course, I'm dragging this video, so let's go on to this next step. The whole reason I'm making this video series because this step actually really, really made me stuck when I was a beginner. I didn't understand it. This is something that's called a rabbit ear fold. And what it is it's kind of like a swivel fold. And I know I'm using all this terminology. Once again, please get the book. Please read the book. It explains better than I ever could what this type of stuff is. But basically, when you make a rabbit ear fold, it's much like this, where you're bringing two folds together to create a new layer, a new flap. But generally, you're trying to create a point or a triangle flap. And look, I'm already doing it. This is how amazing this model is. I'll show it with pre-creases, though the book doesn't show you pre-creases. Basically, this is once again the intersection of two mountain folds to create a flap that goes up. One will be this edge going to this edge. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and pre-crease like I am now, just bringing this edge to this edge. And the other has actually already been made for you, which is this one going down. Now what you need to do is bring this corner out, as this corner is going to become that pointed flap. Just stick your finger under, make that mountain fold I made earlier. You'll see the paper just naturally wants to take the shape of that pointy flap. Then you bring that one up to the top. Do again on the other side. This model is so good that you don't actually need to make the pre-crease. You can just form that tip, bring it up, and once again, let the nature of geometry carry you along. All right. Then the next step is to pull this paper out. I know that can be scary. Scared me a lot when I was first folding this. But as long as you're gentle, you have your finger on these flaps here, just take your thumb under and gently pull paper down. You may need to open it up a little bit to bring that paper loose. Don't try to force it too much or you may accidentally rip it. See how my paper's just starting to kind of loosen up here. And then don't like pull it all apart or you might accidentally unfold your model. Just keep your finger here, apply gentle pressure, and put your thumb out. That'll naturally have the paper tighten into the shape shown in the book. There we go. Not too bad. This is probably the hardest step in the entire model. So now that you've done this, easy street. Totally easy. Just gonna do this real quick on the other side. Okay. Now we flip it over. Has my favorite symbol, the little zoop. Want to refold on these creases. Once again, I like to fold towards myself, so that's why I rotate that paper. You don't need to rotate the paper. Cool. Then we're going to fold in half. I'm trying to make the shape match as much as what's in the book. You'll kind of start, this is the exciting part of every model, is when you start to see it look a little like the end product. You know, you can already tell at this point, you know, this is that pink little rat tail, that's that body, these are probably the ears, that's probably the face. It's awesome when you have that end in sight. Anyways, we're going to do something called an inside reverse fold, and I know that sounds pretty scary, but basically that's anytime you have kind of a bend that brings a point out, and we're trying to bring the point down at an angle, and specifically that angle is where this pre-crease, you can't quite see it, this pre-crease and that corner meet. So if you want, you can pre-crease it as well to give yourself a guide. As you get better, you'll find that these pre-creases generally aren't necessary because it's really easy to adjust this type of fold. But see here, I'm bringing my nails in to meet those corners, pre-creasing this. That's the angle. See, it doesn't look so good when you're doing this with just one layer, so that's why you inside reverse fold. What that is, it's like doing two of these folds, which are called mountain folds, to bring this flap in on the inside. So you open up the model, make two mountain folds right here. Looks like that color changes it even better guide than my pre-crease. So you just push it in, make those two mountain folds, and then close it on up. And then you'll see that this flap is still its own closed flap. Oh, sometimes this will happen. Mountain folds or inside reverse folds where the tip doesn't quite want to close up. It's okay. Just gently nudge it in the right direction. And now look, you've changed the direction of that flap. And this is one of my favorite folds to make. Super duper easy. Now, what angle do they have that in the book? Looks like this one. Then it wants you to do another kind of inside reverse fold. This one is a little trickier because it doesn't involve such a large, easily visible flap. It can be tricky to make these folds line up with the corner. So sometimes I like to just roll that paper gently till it hits the tip there. Once again, we're striving to learn. We're not striving to be perfect here. There we go. That's our pre-crease for this next step. So we went ahead, we made that pre-crease, and just like the other one, we open it up, we push on that pre-crease, then we just close it back up. Easy as that. Oh boy, my cat just jumped on my computer. I hope she doesn't break it again. She did that yesterday. She messed me up real good, but I was able to fix it. Anyways, let's take a look here. Same thing. And there we go. Another cat just jumped on. Oh boy. Okay. Next. Oh boy. I don't have this model memorized, so I'm going off a diagram. My cat totally took that diagram off my screen. That's okay. Here's our angle. we're going to do another inside reverse fold. The book describes it as at the foot. That just basically means right around the longest, right around the most we can inside reverse it without other stuff getting messed up. So right here, see how if I pull it more, something's gonna rip, other creases are being made. So that's how you know you're folding at the foot. And gosh, you'll see I managed to overfold on this angle. There's overlap in the tip of the tail. That's what I usually try to avoid, but oh well. So you just stick it up at that foot, close it on up, and boom! Once again, you've made a successful inside reverse fold. You're a pro at this. Now, we're gonna start forming the ears. We're basically done with the tail, and you can put this tail honestly at any angle you want. That's the cool thing about origami is once you know what you're doing, you can make little adjustments any way you want. Now, take this ear, fold it down on this crease, and then we're gonna do something called a squash fold. That's where you wait 1 second here. Am I bad? Do I know what I'm talking about? I sure do. Okay, we're gonna open this flap up, and then on this crease we just created, I'm gonna make that point out. And a squash fold is basically opening up a flap, taking note of where that mountain fold is in the book. Looks like it's along this. Then opening it up so that that mountain fold takes place all the way till the model squashes in a new angle. And due to the symmetry of models, I'm sure you can tell, boom, we're doing that on the other side. There we go. Almost done. Almost done. Now we've got a simple mountain fold perpendicular to this line with this corner being the marker for that. So I like to start my fold, and then put my fingers the barrier to keep me from overfolding. And then just crease at that corner. These are just little tips I'm giving for more accurate folding, though. I folded this model quite inaccurately for us here today. Maybe I'm a little nervous. So we make our fold, then we fold just one layer back over, and then we fold the ear up. That is the finished ear of our mouse. All that's left to do is make the other ear. So once again, fold down on that corner, fold a single flap over. We don't want to fold the face over. Oh, wrong flap. Whoa. What have I done here? Let's see. That's the face. Why is the face connected? What a gaffe I've made on my own video. Oh. There's not 3 flaps because I've already taken care of this flap. Okay. I know what I'm doing. Cool. So we do that, and then we open this boy up. There we go. Have I gotten confused in my own video made to prevent confusion? Oh, how horrendous. Okay. Let's see here. Golly. Jeez, now you see why it's necessary. This is what we started off with. Then we squash. Then we fold down. Then we put it in here. Okay. Sorry. I'm so sorry if that was confusing for everyone. I, for some reason, thought there was going to be another flap for the face, and I was very confused when that wasn't there. But no, the face gets formed by what we're doing. So ignore everything I did. I will not be cutting it out because I do not want to edit. The sense of tripping people up, I will. Dang. Okay, so this is what we have on the other side. Fold that down. Fold this guy on over, thus making our face. We've got our second ear. Fold that bad boy on up. And boom, we actually have our mouse now. That's it. Easy as pie. You can put the tail at any angle you want, though the book, I believe, has it like this. That's your mouse. I'm gonna give that to my cat. End of video.